Hey guys, quick market review today. This is not financial advice. This is not professional advice. I'm just doing this for fun. This is a hobby. I'm not an expert. Okay, so with that said, let's get to a few different coins today. I'm going to go through Bitcoin first. I don't really feel super confident about my own Bitcoin trading and knowledge. I do trade Bitcoin, but I don't scalp. I'm definitely trying to learn more on how to trade Bitcoin at a higher level. I feel that the skills needed to trade Bitcoin are definitely higher than trading altcoins personally. But that just also could be because I've been focused on trading altcoins the last year or so. I've already marked a few levels here on the weekly. This is BTC USD on BitMEX. So what's my current bias right now? So my current bias right now has to be bullish, given we've had 7 weekly green candles in a row. I marked this current level, this 9.5K level. And when you're marking levels, you know, as a price action trader myself, when you mark these levels, it's very subjective in general. I mean, trading is subjective, of course, but I chose this level because you saw a lot of interaction in the past with this 9.5K level here in April. Support, 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 breakthrough, resistance, breakdown, and we had kind of a false break here before breaking down again. So I kind of view this 9.5, 9.6K level as the immediate resistance area. If you see price flip here, then I would expect it to test this 11.5K level. This 11.5K level is kind of like an end boss level right now. You know, when we had that big run up last year in 2019, price could not break that level and could not close above this 11.8K, 11.6K level over several weeks. So here are my weekly levels here, and support right now. I see kind of this 7.7K region. Again, subjective. You can kind of see this like slight accumulation here. Go for the move up to 10K before breaking down. Of course, March, was it 11th or 12th, was a terrible day. We'll go to the daily. So again, bullish bias overall for BTC USD, but you can tell it's kind of like this slow grinding price action. BTC generally does not have a V-shaped reversal in its past history. So I'm not exactly sure how big of a move this is going to continue with. Global markets and equities make it so that BTC price action is pretty unpredictable in general, and legacy markets are also pretty illogical right now. I mean, prices, the SPX and overall Dow Jones and overall equities are moving higher and higher, despite 30 million Americans and the entire world being unemployed and not working due to COVID. So it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense to me, but the Fed is printing a lot of money, and that's kind of holding equities up, in my opinion, and BTC is following. I'm a little disappointed to see such high correlation with BTC and legacy markets, but it's different times, and this is really BTC's first experience with dealing with a big recession experience. So anyways, with that said, my bias is bullish. There's kind of a slow grinding motion. Very decent energy last week, and this 9.5K level is the immediate resistance level. I'd expect either kind of this point of break area around here, kind of like the 8Ks, to provide some support. Personally, I've been waiting for BTC to cool off for quite some time, but it hasn't come, and it just keeps grinding up. So, with that said, my bias is bullish. I'd be looking for longs. Overall, it's possible that BTC just keeps flagging and then, you know, breaks up and starts testing the 10Ks. The reason why I say that Bitcoin doesn't really have V-shaped reversals is every time in the past, you'll see kind of these long accumulation periods needed for price to unwind. You can kind of see again, of course, this area in late 2018, early 2019, where price accumulated for several months before obviously having this massive move where we just smashed through everything. And again, you kind of saw BTC kind of have this other additional accumulation here, the short accumulation that led up to 10K. So, you know, in its price history, you don't really see BTC making these big V-shaped reversals. You see these big V-shaped reversals more in illiquid shitcoins, you know, where it doesn't take as much time to accumulate. But, you know, for this situation, BTC made such a big violent move down that maybe big players did get filled, and maybe, you know, they're just unwinding. So overall bias for BTC is bullish. You know, I would start looking for longs personally. My plan, I guess, going forward is to go ahead and see if Bitcoin breaks 9.5 and it'll start testing these higher regions. But personally, I'm kind of waiting for BTC to kind of cool off and take a break, kind of either in this, you know, 7.7 to 8K region. So that's kind of my plan for BTC. I'm not actively trading it a whole lot right now, but yeah, I'll move on. I already have a chart here for ETH USD. ETH USD has pretty much followed Bitcoin for the most part. And that's kind of like a narrative that you should always remember too when you're trading altcoins, is that the alt USD pairs generally follow BTC price action. So like if BTC USD goes up, then alt USD value will also go up. And it's really important to understand the relationships too between Bitcoin and altcoins. So for instance, alt USD value will go up if BTC USD value goes up. If BTC USD value has high volatility, then you'll often see altcoin BTC pairs suffer heavily, whereas alt USD value will generally go up. So during high moments of BTC volatility, it's generally better to trade alt USD pairs versus alt BTC pairs, if that makes sense. And that's just my opinion. I could be wrong, but that's kind of what I found. Anyways, Coinbase, ETH USD pair here. Oopsies. I'm marking some levels. This is kind of like similar to BTC USD. You see this 230 level being kind of a minor SR level that price currently stalled out at. When you're marking levels, it's also really important to see the reaction for each level. So like this level I marked it's important in the sense that this is where price stalled out at, but it's not as a big of a deal, or it's not as significant of a level as, like, for instance, this $300 level, this $310 level is. And the reason is that you see a much bigger reaction from this $310 level. This is like the peak here, and it kind of interacted highly with this area as well. So when you're marking your levels, you want to see the reaction, and like the bigger the reaction, the more significant the level is. So again, like this $370 level right here, like, or 360 or whatever, you can see price stalled out right here on the big run up in May 2017. Again, stalled out again, blast through, again, support, and then break down. So you can tell, like right here, this 370, 380 region is really important, and it's going to be a much more significant level than the one I marked right here and this 230 region. Anyways, I am marking this 230 region because I believe that's where price currently stalled out at right now. I believe that ETH USD value is generally going to follow BTC. So like if BTC goes down, then ETH USD is probably going to go down as well. Similar thing as BTC, you have several green candles in a row, healthy volume. During certain times of the year, ETH USD will actually be somewhat uncorrelated with Bitcoin in the sense that, for instance, in like Q4 of each year, altcoins generally do really well, and ETH is generally a leader in that regard. So ETH will sometimes be a better buy than Bitcoin in those situations, but it's usually pretty rare. For instance, now ETH USD is still bullish. My levels are 230 as immediate resistance. We'll see if price can break there. Support level, I am going to view probably like 190-ish. You can see a lot of interaction over here back in October of 2018, support. More interaction right here. This is immediate resistance in October 2019 before breaking down. And so I would view kind of this area as support from an immediate standpoint. If price breaks here, then I would expect kind of this 175 region. Okay, so yeah, same kind of deal as Bitcoin though. Yeah, I'm bullish for now, but I think that price definitely needs to cool off. ETH BTC is really ugly. I had a thread before that kind of highlighted the ETH BTC market cycles in the past, and you can kind of see it too. Q4 or early Q1, you'd see like this huge rise up for ETH BTC. Again, this is 2017, so this is like the greatest alt season of all time right here. Price retraced in nearly all of February and some of March, end of March, and then it had a secondary bounce in the spring. And this is the springtime is generally pretty good for ETH BTC. It is the time where it has the second bounce, but the second bounce is almost always like a lower high than the first bounce, or the first pump, I suppose. So you can see this is in 2018, early 2018. In 2019, same deal. You saw this big run up in December right here, followed by a retrace again in January for about 1 month. And then you have a secondary pump for about another month, and then that price still breaks down. I kind of expected the same thing to happen this year as well, and so far that's kind of what's happening. We see, this big move for ETH BTC over several months again, followed by a retrace, slight, consolidation before a secondary pump. We have yet to be determined if price can kind of hold this area, this 0.0229. I kind of personally hope it does, because I like to trade altcoins, and I feel like that's kind of where my best edge is. But I kind of am expecting it to kind of follow the same kind of market cycle that it has the last several years. So my guess is that it probably loses 0.022. And I still do have an ETH position, but I will probably be cutting it if it loses this kind of this weekly SR level. And you can kind of see too on the daily, there's just like a lot of sell volume coming in right now. It just like doesn't look great. And the secondary pump had like lower volume as well. So again, we'll see what ETH BTC does. I kind of view this area right here, this 0223 region, is like pretty significant. I wouldn't want to see it lost either, because you could maybe argue that this area right here was maybe like the last low. So I don't know. So you see low, high, lower, high, or higher low, higher high compared to this right here. But I still I'm not really sure exactly if this is going to hold. So we'll see. I have alerts set, and if ETH BTC falls, I expect a lot of other coins to fall as well. I kind of expected alts to have maybe one good month left before the retrace in the summer. The summers are usually quite harsh for altcoins. All right, so I'm going to try and go through these quick, these altcoins. I'm going to use the BTC pair because, again, I generally trade alt BTC pairs in general, and it's just easier. I'll go through some majors and some trending coins. XRP, this is like the long-term floor right now. If XRP loses this 2300 sats region, it's going to be really ugly in general. The next area of support I see is probably like 1500 sats. So another possibility for ETH, generally when you see big reversals, is you see a run of the lows. So these lows at 2300, these might get ran. So you might see something like this before blitzing up. That's kind of what I'm hoping for XRP, because I have a small position in XRP right now. I assumed that it was going to kind of make some big moves given some of the market history. But, you know, I'm entirely ready to be very wrong here. You know, XRP might just not pump. But, you know, if it does pump, the rewards are very good. So even, you know, at the end of last year, it even pumped 50% before retracing that move. But, you know, XRP has had massive moves in the past, but we'll see if that happens this time here. Daily doesn't really show anything, in my opinion. It's kind of the similar thing. You're going to see these lows at 2300. I would expect them to get ran at this point. And then you might see a reversal. If you see a high time frame close below these 2300 levels, then it's going to be really quite ugly, in my opinion, for XRP BTC. Zilliqa, this is a coin that I've been tweeting about recently. I have a feeling there are quite a few Zil bag holders given how much engagement I get on my tweets. This is the range that I marked, and it shows up better on the 1 day. You can see prices kind of form this long accumulation distribution range over several months in, you know, from 2019. Every time it hits right around 91 sats, it just breaks down. We are seeing some pretty good moves right now, and you can kind of see here on the 1 day, shows up a little clearer, but you can see this insane volume coming in right now. This is even higher than the previous pumps, which makes me lead to believe that this move might be more legit this time around. Another note is that the 200-day EMA, it's this red line right here, this might flip support. So, and you didn't see that on previous pumps as well. And from what I've seen on comparing altcoins before in the past, this 200-day EMA is actually significant. So again, huge volume. We're about to see if price can break this 91 sats level. If it can, then I view kind of this region here, this 110 to 115 as resistance, and then after that the 150s. If you look out on the high time frames, there are really long ways to go, you know, before price hits resistance. And price fell so quick during these 2019 months that there's a lot of upside for this, but it's going to take a lot of buying power right now to push these prices up. And that kind of reminds me too, if you're bag holding some of these altcoins, and you know, there is shame because I actually have an old bag of Storm that I never cut, and so I'm bag holding that, and I will gladly cut it soon. But just a note, if and when your altcoin luckily pumps, don't hold it until you're expecting to like get break even on your quote unquote trade, investment, whatever you want to call it. It's better just to take the loss, you know, and just just eat the loss. And if your coin pumps like 50% or something like that, just take that and just be happy with that you're able to even get that. There's so many dead coins out there that it's highly unlikely that a lot of these altcoins regain their BTC value. So with that said, if you have something like Zil that you've been holding since 400 sats or something, don't expect that it's going to necessarily get up there again. If it gets to 150 or something, I would probably just cut it myself. But again, do your own research. That's your decision. Link, obviously, insanely bullish coin. Link has kind of its own market cycle. I already have some of these notes from my own charts from before. Link obviously had the super explosive move, and it didn't really have any pullback whatsoever, which was something I kept looking for pullbacks, but it just kept defying all logic for me. But it's finally pulling back now. I drew this fib out, and at first I thought this 0.618 level might be the bottom before Link moved higher. But I looked a little closer, and there wasn't really a whole lot of price history in this 40,000 sats region. So I started looking again at this 0.786 region, and you can see a lot more price history. It was like the top in this area, again, kind of the top in this region as well. And you can see all my alerts. I have like 1 billion alerts for this. Right now, you can see this 100-day EMA, this blue line. This is kind of right near this 0.618 sat area. 618 fib. Price found immediate support, but it looks like I might actually get my entry. So I'm just going to kind of wait and probably look to buy somewhere in the 38K sats area. So you can see, I actually did mark, the 618 fib, and this did have a good first reaction, but it looks like price is kind of retracing. So I'm kind of looking for 0.786. Normally I would be kind of iffy and probably not buy, but something as bullish in general as Chainlink that you kind of have to. Here is a Link short. Oopsies. Sorry. This is a Link short that I took last night. Again, I was kind of using the same logic that Link BTC looked overextended still, and I felt that Link USD would also fall. I also thought that BTC USD looked overextended, and I thought BTC USD might cool off a little bit. So I used this trade here. I thought that price was going to make a lower high and kind of rebound, go lower. I entered around $3.76. Overall, you still have to be bullish on Link in general if you just zoom out. I mean, and this is kind of messy with all those notes and stuff, but it's still really bullish. It might go farther down than my levels, but this is kind of what I'm going to do. So not really much analysis on Link, but this kind of does look kind of tired to me in general. There's like high sell volume. You can kind of see right here. You can kind of see this ranging price action too. It's quite possible that price just ranges and then makes an higher move, but okay. Band, another one that looks insanely bullish, broke all-time high levels. Oh, no, it's not all-time high, but super high levels. I drew this fib out that looks better on the 4-hour. The blue line is the 100 EMA. This is where I expect price to find some support at the 0.382 fib area or 10.5K sats. This is kind of an area where I expect price to kind of make a short-term bounce, but then I ultimately expect this 9.4K area to provide a lot more support. It's going to be the 200 EMA is probably going to come hit it right there. And if you zoom out to the 9.4K area, you also saw this area as like a top, like right here. Here, right kind of like early in the listing in September, of 2019. And you also saw this area be a big, significant resistance area on March 10th when altcoins were all pumping really hard before a big breakdown. So again, kind of what I was talking about before, when you're marking your levels, is you have to see the reaction that price makes. The stronger this resistance level is going to be, theoretically, this should be strong support. So I view kind of like this 9.4K area as like my buy area for band. RSR, this one's popular. I don't know what it is. Look on the weekly. Looks just like kind of accumulation. And then just an explosive move up. It looks like prices kind of head back all the way down, honestly, though. Like, it wouldn't surprise me to see price get back to... I can't even read what price that is on Huobi. This is kind of... looks like it's going to go back to this area, though. This looks like just distribution given the volume. I would expect price to kind of head back into this yellow box. Data, this thing is insanely bullish given the recent price action. I already marked this weekly level. You can kind of see support, breakdown. I don't know what this wick is, just pump and dump. And then price broke through this 433 sats area. I kind of view... I don't know, maybe like this kind of area as like an SR level. Price is continuing to move up. I don't know how high this is going to go. It looks like it has a secondary pump. I mean, I don't usually buy in setups like these. My plan, I guess, for data would be to wait to see if 930 can get flipped. And then I would check 1100. There's not really, I don't know, it's kind of hard to do a trade in this setup. You could maybe like take something like this. But the problem with this is that invalidation is kind of hard to really tell where you're invalid. Because like this area right here looks pretty like a good SR level. But, you know, if you extend it there, you have like a 1-to-1. That doesn't really make too much sense to me. So yeah, I wouldn't take this trade personally. But data looks bullish. I mean, what's there to say? CTSI, again, no idea what this is. Looks like constant retracement. You can't really go on high time frames either because, I mean, what's there to really show given the market history? Can we go 4 hour? I don't know what to say about this. This just looks really bearish to me. It looks like there's really no good support, frankly, like anywhere. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what to say. This thing's really bearish. I wouldn't buy at any point. It doesn't look like... You can maybe say this level might provide some support here because it found support. But generally, when you see price go up, have a good first reaction to like these levels and bounce hard, the second and third reaction, it's going to be kind of like a bowling ball. So like that's kind of a misconception that I did not understand before, is that price actually, support gets weaker the more price tests it because those orders are getting filled. So you might see something like this and then fall through. So again, you know, this might be some support, but this thing just looks really bearish on the 1 hour. Algo, BTC, this is a really popular coin. This 2300 sats area was really strong as a support region. You could see really good reactions from it. This was like the bottom back in 2019 fall. Big first reaction, or a big second reaction. Again, kind of a minor one right there. And it's interesting to see that these lows right here got ran before you saw a good reaction, and now price again has fallen all the way through. Coins like this is still kind of a knife catch in general. you know, the support region has held pretty solidly in the past, but how long is it going to keep holding? I am not really sure, to be frank and honest. You know, it's trades like this are not that bad though, because you can have a pretty easy invalidation level where price, you can maybe have like these lows as like your invalidation, whereas the upside's still like pretty good in general. Like you could target the range highs right here, or not range highs, but these highs right here. So it looked like the 100-day EMA was a resistance area, and you can see the 200 still kind of trying to catch up down below. So my bias for algo right now is definitely bearish. You can't say it's anything else. This 2300 sats region might provide some support, but anything around here is pretty risky in my opinion. Ethereum Classic, I thought this one would move a little stronger given ETH was pretty good, but this one is just retracing overall. You could maybe, if you look on high time frame charts, this 0.0096 region was pretty strong support in the past. You saw pretty big reactions, and then price broke down again when it kind of refound it in this current time period. I marked this weekly level right here. That's very important in my opinion, this 0.0008 region. You could see price is really struggling right now to get over that area. It hasn't really closed over this region in over a month. So this is kind of pretty strong right now, like a strong resistance area, and it is consolidating, so that's something. And it's also quite possible that price is forming a higher low on high time frames. So, you know, you can maybe call this like the last low, last significant low before price moved up, and now price is consolidating and maybe it will go higher. But that's still a really long ways away, in my opinion. WRX, this is a good reason. I recently had a post on this, why you should always take profit, always. I originally found this setup before when I fibbed this one out. It was like this. Yeah, so I originally fibbed this one out before, where I thought that price was consolidating after this huge pump on the 0.618 fib. The EMAs didn't show up. EMAs must have showed up on lower time frames. But anyways, price blitzed up. Price retraced down to 1400 sats in the 618, and then it eventually spiked up again. But again, this is a good reason, or good reminder why you should always take profits, in that this entire move, it's like 50% move or more, even from like this bottom. It's pretty much fully retraced. So like this is like kind of the mini accumulation that price had right here, the base before the big move up, and now price has revisited it. So in my eyes, WRX, it's bearish right now, and we're about to see if this base can hold again, kind of similar how it did back in March, before making a decision. You know, we're going to see if it goes up or if it goes down. If it loses this 1300 or area, then, or 1400 ish, then it's going to get really ugly. Veracity, don't know what this is. I charted it a long time ago, and it looks like there was a huge move back in January, and kind of like this base area that got formed is immediate support, and it looks like price is going to head back to it right now. It looks bearish on all time frames. Again, good reminder why you should always take profit. It looks like price did make a big move recently. We're up 75%, and now price is making a return back to the base before. This area is probably going to be like high time frame support in general, kind of like this area. But again, it's kind of a knife catch, so there's a few different ways you can play it, but it's kind of a risky buy in my opinion. Matic, I have a position in Matic right now. I have been playing the range. Sorry for all the I'm just gonna yeah, it's not good. Sorry, I have all these alerts, and I know it's kind of hard to read. So, sorry about that. I'll fix that in the next video if I do another video. I found the 200-day EMA to be a significant resistance area that price kind of stalled out at. This is kind of the range that I am dealing with Matic. I've lately just been selling 195 or so and then trying to rebuy lower. But I still think it's bullish. I think Matic is just forming kind of this long accumulation, and price is going to break through. Yeah, sorry about all these alerts. I know it's really hard to read and see, but okay. I'll fix that for next time. Zcoin. This thing looks really bearish in general. You could maybe use this as like this support region, and price is kind of interacting right now with this. What is that? 46k sats. I can't read it. But for now, it looks bearish. Good first reaction off this right here. Price broke down. Price found support again. Right here. And had a good bounce. And then price is now returning. So like when you're looking at SR levels, generally for altcoins, it's like the first test is usually, I think what Cred says, first test, best test, or something like that. It's kind of applicable here. Like, you see like a pretty good first reaction when price went up. But now that price has returned, it's kind of going to be that similar thing as to what I said before. Support's going to keep getting weaker and bounce, and then probably return to this region right here. It looks bearish overall. DGB, this is an old coin. Looks like this is not a good chart for it. Let's use this. Oh, it looks like I previously... Okay, I knew this is an old coin. That's why I knew something was not right here. It looks like I charted these weekly levels beforehand. Everything is like super bullish. Look at this like crazy volume that you haven't seen in like literally years. Price broke out of it and now is testing kind of like this SR level here. You can kind of see good support, good support, good support. And this area is significant because of the reaction that it gave. Like, for instance, of March 2018, you saw like price came down here, found really good support, and then had a really explosive move after that. So I'd expect this region to be like pretty strong resistance on the way up. If price breaks this, then it's going to go, in my opinion, to 312 sats. And you can still see really like strong volume coming in now too. So, yep, I'm still bullish on this. You can't really be bearish. You should start being bearish when you see price continuing to grind up on lowering volume and you start seeing some high sell candles, along with like gravestone, like dojis. You just look at a candlestick guide. So it looks like those are all my coins for today. I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you for watching, and good luck at the charts.